See the blood flowing in? It's quite a feat of physics, too, for them to get their proboscis or their piercing mouth parts down into your body. Yeah. He needs to loosen his belt and unbuckle his top button.
Roll over.
There, my wife asked, what if they get greedy and just feed until they pop? I'm like, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. But the way that they feed is they have they're piercing mouth parts. They have one part that's like a big serrated knife. It is super sharp. And it basically slices open our skin very efficiently. And they have a straw, basically, that goes in to extract blood. And they have another one that puts in their saliva. In this sense, we'll call it their saliva, which is kind of a numbing agent, but it's also an anticoagulant. So that allows the blood to continue to flow up in there. And so that's how they can continue to feed on one little spot. All right, so here's some pictures. I keep getting such huge reactions when I show these pictures, but I have some really gross ones. I mean, this is like nothing. Some people react horribly to it. I think I'm going to have to start putting those ones in. So people know. But, you can see here kind of that straight line. Everyone reacts different. Now, you can think if someone has diabetes or something, there's a risk of having issues because if you've got all these bites, you can start to get open sores. There's no disease issues with bed bugs. There's definitely secondary infections that you have to worry about, especially with MRSA. All right, so early detection. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Low-level infestations often go unnoticed. There's no reliable device to detect bed bugs. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that there aren't devices that can help us detect bed bugs, but when I say reliable, and I need to change this maybe to 100%, there's no 100% devices. We have different detection devices that we can place out that work really well. We have Molly. She's our border collie. She's a bed bug canine who can detect bed bugs. She's got about a 97% accuracy rate of finding bed bugs. She does awesome. She's trained by the same people that train bomb and drug dogs. And so there's a lot of different things we can do. Our visual inspections can be very well if we're trained, but there's no 100% reliable way. Unfortunately, too, there's no reliable pheromone we can put out like we can for some insects that will just draw them right in. We got to use body odor, not mine, synthetic. We use heat, and we also use CO2. So to be able to say you have bed bugs, you need an actual sample. You can't just say I have bed bugs because I have a red spot on my skin. There are hundreds of causes of red spots on our skin. And there's no way to look at a red spot and say that's a bed bug bite. You cannot ID a bed bug bite. Now, the only insect bite I know of that you can ID by looking at it with any percent of accuracy is a tick bite with Lyme disease. You tend to get a target-type welt. It looks like the symbol for the store Target. But beyond that, I've had people show me all kinds of stuff. I had this lady the other day try to lift up her shirt and show me something that she said she had on her boob. And I said, I don't think so. And, let's stop there and I'll take your word for it. And, it's kind of awkward and strange, but people are always trying to show me body parts with red spots on them. And, I just say it's probably not the best way to go about it. Let's inspect maybe your apartment first. So the bite symptoms can be a good indicator, but, you need a sample. All right, so look at this picture. How many bed bugs do you see?
One.
Okay, we have a big adult here. We got two up here, one here. There's one down here. And you have some cast skins. And in this picture, it's on white carpet and a baseboard. There is about, in this picture, a total of about 9 eggs. They're very difficult to see, especially when you have light colors like that. You can see the fecal, that's the fecal matter. You see it's definitely raised. You can see on the side of this mattress all the fecal spotting. That's pretty easy to determine right away. right here you can see a female, an adult female, and there's another bed bug here, and there's one over here, and there's some fecal spots, and there's an egg right here. I was in a place that had wooden bunk beds, okay? It was a shelter. And one of the bunk beds had big bolts that put it together. One of the bolts was kind of unscrewed a little bit. As we pulled that bolt all the way out, all the way down the threads, it had eggs. And then there was live bed bugs living down in there. I mean, they're so thin and so small, they can get into places that you would never imagine.
I don't mean to interrupt, but this, you've seen this in this Seattle metropolitan.
Oh, yeah. The West Coast is infested with bed bugs.
I thought it was Midwest, not East.
No, it's here. Now, this is horrible. Okay? Look at all these adults. But there are people that I've talked to, go to their apartments, that have this bad, and say they never noticed them. They didn't know they had bed bugs. I don't know if that's a psychological thing they do to kind of, they go into denial about it, and they just turn it off because they don't want to deal with it, or they're oblivious to it. Either way, that's bad when it gets that bad. So early detection. There are 2 eggs on that back right there. Okay? You probably can't see that, but it's not really the lighting in here. They're that small. One there, there's one there. Okay, someone brings that into your house. Well, if you got an Adam and Eve right there, and a boy and a girl, guess what? You got your start of an infestation right there. Here you have on a couch, you have some cast skins, some adults, some eggs that are they've already emerged. Once they've emerged, they become more white like that as opposed to translucent. And then here on a box spring, you can see a bunch under there. Box springs are the worst invention ever. Okay? They're bed bug hotels. And I know we use that for everything with bugs. Everything's a hotel for a bug. They're perfect. There's no way you can inspect a box spring completely. There are so many nooks and crannies and cracks in the board where they put them together. And they put all that fluff in there, and it's over. There's no way you can inspect a box spring away. That's one of the number 1 places they infest. So here's Molly. That's our canine. She's about 97% effective. She works great. She keys on bed bugs that have blood in them, not dead ones. She's been trained on live bed bugs. So if she sees a dead bed bug, she doesn't even give a second notice. But when she smells live bed bugs, she sits down and she waits. And she has a great tool. She just found some. Brittany and I were at a place just the other day, and she hit on something, and sure enough, we turned it over, and we found some bed bugs in there. So these are some of the main spots you're going to get them. See on this couch, they're just right in that little fold right there. Headboards, bed frames, box springs, mattresses, nightstands, picture frames, chairs and bed skirts, pleats, everything. Any place, like I said, in the property, they could be. So why the mattress and box spring encasement? I don't get paid anything by Protect-A-Bed, but they're the only company that I've seen research that they've been verified that bed bugs cannot escape out of the mattress encasement, they can't get into it, and they can't bite through it. You can go to Bed Bath & Beyond and you can find a whole bunch, probably 30 different bed bug covers they'll sell there, but none of them have been tested in a laboratory. And most of them were allergy encasements for dust mites, which they'll keep out a dust mite, but not necessarily keep out bed bugs. So they're a good tool. They help us with our inspections as well. If you go to inspect a bed that has bed bug encasements on it, you can inspect that bed in about 5 minutes as opposed to an hour or 2. So it keeps them from getting inside of the mattress. If you have a mattress that's infested and you can't afford to throw it away, you put on an encasement for very low cost. The bed bugs are stuck. They're going to die off in there. You just don't open it up. Usually you're always going to treat your mattress, but you might still have some live ones in a box spring you couldn't find. They won't be able to get out there and die off from there.